Welcome to Personal Shaman Podcast. I'm your host, Polly Behringer. I specialize in holistic modalities and alternative methods to help you heal and release trauma. In this episode, I'm excited to reintroduce our special guest, Cassandra Elaine, in our series, Healing Trauma Through Art. Cassandra is a talented and visionary artist with over 20 years' experience. Her work delves into the profound interplay between emotional landscapes, spirituality, and the natural world. Drawing inspiration from her own life experiences, her art serves as a powerful tool for healing and inner growth. Her unique technique creating dimensional sculptural canvases that invite viewers to not just observe, but to experience the depth of her storytelling. In this episode, she discusses the healing power of journaling, prayer, and the importance of self-care. Please be advised that while this episode is not solely focused on sensitive topics, it does touch on issues such as suicidal thoughts and sexual assault. If these topics are distressing or triggering for you, please listen with caution or consider skipping this segment until you're ready. Your well-being is important to us. If you've listened to the last two episodes, you probably notice a difference in the style. In the very beginning, it was very formal. We were covering some basics, going through details, and the further we went on the interviews, the more complex things became and the much more relaxed and more open. I feel like that's part of the healing process is the longer you go through something, the deeper you dive through it, the rawness of what's happening comes to the top. This one was one of the most difficult for me to edit and put together. I think when you have time to step back and sit in the moments and you've re-listened to something over and over and over again, you start to pick up on nuances, changes in someone's voice, and you start to hear them on a different level. They're not sitting in front of you. There's no distractions. You're not rushing to get this project done. You're not thinking about how to start this episode or how to end it. You're in the thick of it. I'm able to see the trees for the forest. This episode's really powerful on so many levels to me, and I'm extremely grateful that she took the time to share this with us. You're on this path of healing.
I was completely in trauma, like PTSD, and I didn't know it at the time. I was masking it, buried it, suppressed it, and compartmentalized it as a secret part of me that was buried so deep that I was even unaware of it. I was just highly functioning. It was like what happened to me had become a story from the past that I wasn't really connected to. I remember talking to my roommate in college one time and telling her, I think this happened to me, but I'm not sure. Then after school, all of these things started coming up and I was so depressed and suicidal. I couldn't deny it anymore. Then I had to voice the truth.
In the last section, I wanted to share how important it was that Cassandra noticed something in her body was telling her something wasn't right. When you start to reconnect to your body after trauma, you're able to start to begin the process of healing and moving forward, moving through it. In this section, we're exploring how journaling was part of her healing process. Journaling is one of the most powerful healing modalities out there. It changes the way you view your past and who you are now presently and how you see your future. When trauma survivors begin to document their past experiences, when they start to allow themselves the freedom to express themselves, research has shown there is a reduction in PTSD symptoms.
I started journaling hardcore, talking to myself. The first time I ever voiced my memories of what happened to me was wow, I can't believe this actually happened to me. And the way that I had forced myself to forget it, After I started writing, facing those memories, remembering them, and feeling the pain of it, that's when I started.
If you had to give advice to someone who's struggling but couldn't find the words, what would you tell someone who's I want to heal from this feeling, but I can't describe this feeling? What would you say to them?
Well, I'd say get that pen in your hand, and even if you have to fill up a whole page with the word do it. Even if you can't write what you actually feel. If you're feeling while you're writing, you're channeling that energy through your hand out of your body into that book. Even if you're not writing, I feel this and this, you're just writing cuss words over and over, but you're channeling that energy through your arm. it'll leave your body.
I feel you saying that.
Yes, I started journaling hardcore, talking to myself. The first time I ever voiced my memories of what happened to me was like, wow, I can't believe this actually happened to me. And the way that I had forced myself to forget it, I started writing, facing those memories, remembering them, and feeling the pain of it. I am very passionate about the power that writing and drawing with your hand and a real pen on a real piece of paper has for channeling energy, transforming your emotions, and healing you, draining you from the negativity.
I always feel like there's a play on words. And, when I tell people about journaling, you're righting wrongs that were happening to you.
Ooh.
You're changing the direction, even though it's like we now we spell right, WRITE, with RIGHT. Like we're writing those wrongs. What you're spelling in your journal, you're creating spells. I'm not trying to be witchy about it. I believe the more you write something over and over, you do create that. It does come into fruition. It's very much real. You're feeling those feelings. You're manifesting those emotions.
I know that there's so many modalities and different ways of creating digitally and typing and all this. There is nothing that compares to having a real pen and a real piece of paper, sitting in a quiet space, maybe your room, maybe it's the front porch with some snail and some coffee.
Yeah.
For me, always it was in my bed at night alone before I go to bed in my book. You have to have your own sacred space and safe space. And there have been times when I haven't felt safe in my own journal, or I thought somebody might read it. I actually started writing backward in my journal so no one could read it.
Wow.
Backwards in cursive. They'd have to try really hard to read it, I've even written on paper that I then threw away, but I just needed to channel it out and get it out of me. Then I felt better, and then I could dispose of the page or not.
I myself, at one point, I stopped journaling and was only drawing because I didn't want people to read my journals. If you're venting, not seeing the lighter side of things, do you feel like you're healing, or do you feel like you're perpetuating the same scenario?
I have vented a lot. And once you vent it out, then you can start getting some clarity. Sometimes we don't have people we can talk to about these things. And even if we did, we can't trust them with our secrets. The only person you can really trust is yourself with your own stories, your own secrets. My book became my safe place, me and my book. So I did vent a lot, and I have vented a lot, but then also that helped me clear the space so that then I could actually start seeing with clarity what needed to come next, or I could then move on. Now these things that I needed to vent about are no longer clouding my vision. I can see clearly now.
So it's a step in your
action.
process.
Exactly. I think if you're having to vent all the time and writing that down, then you might be sealing something into your existence. It's important to vent, but also to try and be constructive.
Welcome to the final section of this episode. Cassandra shares her personal mantra and prayer before every show. There is a lot of research around the power of mantras and prayers, and I think a lot of people really get hung up on, is this a religious practice or is this a spiritual practice? And I believe it's how you choose to approach your practice. I wanted to dive into what is a mantra. So the power of a mantra lies in its ability to serve as this mental tool for healing, to help you refocus your attention and for you to find inner peace. It's important to find a word that aligns with where you want to be or how you want to feel for the greater good. There's a lot of scientific evidence supporting the benefits of using mantras, such as reducing anxiety, reducing stress, and improving your sleep and concentration, even meeting your goals. Mantras help turn down the volume in your mind, the mind chatter, the background mental noise that a lot of us have going on throughout the day that seem to blur our vision, blur our focus, and get us off track. When you use a mantra, it calms the nervous system and regulates the brainwave activity. So mantras help quiet the mind and promote this state of calm and emotional regulation. This is where we're able to bring ourselves back on path. Mantras are a word for some, and for some it may be a portion of a prayer or a part of a quote. It's something that you're going to repeat over and over and over again. There's a vibrational frequency. Listen to the bird, it's beautiful, right? There's a vibrational frequency that is released when you start to connect with that word. So as you're repeating this word, there's the frequency around you starts to shift and change. And this is where it starts to promote this state of calm and emotional regulation. Why am I sharing all this? Like, it's one thing to say this is someone's mantra. It's another thing to say this is why mantras are so important. Developing your own mantra is a very powerful thing. It's not something that you take lightly. It's something that you want to deeply connect with, and it's something that you choose to commit to.
My mantra, my word for this year, for the last 2 years, has been surrender. And this year was specifically like God's hands. I'm putting this into the universe's hands.
Cassandra goes on to share with us her personal prayer that she says before every show. And I think it's really powerful that she says this. I never really thought about saying a prayer before going on stage or before teaching a class or having a sit down with a client. Because when I sit down with a client or before going on stage, I regulate myself, I meditate, I ground, and I put myself in this vibrational frequency. But I never thought about adding in a prayer. And I think by her sharing this has influenced myself to look at this and to develop my own prayer. I feel like this is a practice that you can use in anything that you do. A prayer before you go to work, prayer before you go to school, a prayer to start the day, just as if you're doing a prayer to end the day. It's not just when you're in need of something to make that prayer, but it's a way of resetting your vibration. A prayer can be from a place of gratitude. And when you're at a place of gratitude, you know that your frequency is a lot higher than when you're at a place of need. And when you're at a higher place, your vibrational frequency attracts like energy.
I always affirm and say a prayer at every show. God bless these customers. God bless this festival. God bless every single person here, every artist. God bless my booth. All the right people are going to come in here and connect with my work. Everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. Choosing to believe, root into, and connect with the fact that I am taken care of in every single way by the universe. Every need of mine will be met, no matter what.
If everyone could know that they actually are in the driver's seat of their lives would be different. I think there's a huge lesson there. You're like, I can control how I feel. I can't control the rest of the world. You can control the world around you, right? Your immediate world, your circle.
Right. I can control what I'm producing, what I'm creating, and what I'm bringing to this planet. And that's everything.
If I was new to your artwork, where can we find you?
Instagram's where I have all of my work. My handle is artx Cassandra Elaine. TikTok, the same handle. I'm on Facebook.
Where can I go to access or purchase any of your artwork?
I have a website, artcassandraelaine.com.
Your next show or the shows that you're going to this year?
Oddities and Curiosities Expo, they're awesome. There's amazing art there and such talented artists I've been getting to connect with. I have more shows left this year with them. Denver, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, San Antonio, Detroit, and Grand Rapids. I do fine art festivals.
If we were to look for these shows
On my website, I try to keep my schedule updated.
Is there anything you'd like to say or sign off with?
Yeah. I'd just like to say thank you, Polly, for having me and talking with me. It's been really fun. I just am so grateful for our connection and our conversations. They're incredibly growing and insightful. They help me grow every time.
I feel like our friendship is constantly evolving as we are, like peeling back layers of our human self and seeing our real selves come full circle.
You are a master helping peel back the layers and pushing people to be real. And I am so grateful for that.
Thank you so much for joining today, exploring the power of holistic modalities to release trauma. I hope you found inspiration and tools to support your healing journey. I'm excited to continue this adventure together on the Personal Shaman podcast. Remember, Personal Shaman isn't about me becoming your shaman. It's about you becoming your own. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list to receive updates and exclusive content. There's a link below. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review it. It really helps others find our community. And share this episode with friends, family, or anyone you might know that may benefit from these practices. You can find the link to the 10 Days to Mindfulness course below. Use coupon code podcast15 at checkout to receive 15% off. In our next episode, I'm excited to share the fascinating world of energy channels within our body that play a crucial role in Yoga Nidra, the yogic sleep, also coined as NSDR. We'll delve into the three main channels and how they influence our energy flow for attaining profound rest, deep recovery, cellular regeneration, and for many, a personal journey towards their advancing spiritual awakening. You won't want to miss this. Until then, take care, stay mindful, and be gentle with yourself. Namaste.